According to the Savable Rescue for pit bulls and mixes make up about 33% of shelters nationally. 75% of municipal shelters will euthanize these pit bulls immediately upon taking them to shelter. Only 1 in 600 of these pit bulls will find a permanent home. So why is there such a striking difference between other breeds, and why do pit bulls seem to suffer so much? Today I'm going to be speaking on a topic that contributes to the misrepresentation of pit bulls. I'm speaking on why breed-specific legislation should not be allowed. Because this topic of pit bulls and how they should be a banned breed keeps coming to the media's attention, I did some extensive research on this topic to better understand it. Due to statistics being thrown around and the negative media coverage of pit bulls being magnified, many people are under the impression that pit bull breeds and even some other breeds considered aggressive should be banned in communities. To prove that breed-specific legislation itself should be banned, I will tell you the need for change, my solution, and how society would benefit from it. We'll start with why there is a need for this policy to change. Society today has a misconception that pit bulls are all bad, dangerous, aggressive, and should be banned. The belief that these breeds should be banned leads to harmful effects for both the dogs and the owners of these dogs. Because of these bans, many of these dog breeds face neglect because they are not accepted in the public. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.org, many of these dogs are deprived from outdoor exercise and socializing. On an even more serious side of things, many of these dogs don't have access to veterinary care, and many aren't spayed and neutered because of this. This could also lead to outbreaks of rabies and other diseases because these animals don't get their vaccinations. Because owning these banned breeds goes against the law in many of these cities, owners do not get them registered or licensed. Many pit bulls and other banned breeds are losing out on the chance for adoption when potential owners live in areas with breed-specific legislation. I began with some information on pit bulls and shelters, with only 1 in 600 finding permanent homes, and so many of these animals facing euthanasia. So why should the chance at a good home with a responsible owner be deterred? Many additional factors besides breed alone contribute to the potential for a dog to be aggressive. According to the MSPCA.org, there are 5 factors that influence a dog's behavior. Genetic predisposition to be aggressive, early socialization to people, training to either be obedient or to fight, quality of care and supervision, and the behavior of the victim that would experience the aggressive behavior. Other factors such as whether the dog is male or female, has been spayed or neutered, or even spends a large amount of time chained or tethered also contributed to animals' behavior. According to the CDC.gov, any dog of any breed has the potential to bite. There's a strong media bias towards breeds affected by these laws. Many times, any attack by a dog becomes labeled as a pit bull attack, or instead of just simply being a dog attack. To correct it, there is also the fact that it's extremely difficult to correctly determine the breed of many of these mixed without doing DNA testing. Even experts were only found to be correct less than 1/4 of the time when trying to visually determine the breed. This leads to many of these dogs and attacks and videos you see in the media being labeled as pit bulls. To move on, we'll talk about the satisfaction to this problem. There are several ways to prevent these attacks without implementing breed discriminatory legislation. No success has been found with breed-specific laws, but breed-neutral laws have been found to be successful. According to the City Attorney's Office in Topeka, Kansas, current breed-specific legislation, for example, targeting a particular breed, such as the American Pit Bull Terriers, has generally been discredited, and actual experience of cities, professionals, and academic research as being both ineffective and expensive. A resolution to this controversy was stated by the American Bar Association on AmericanBar.org, with the same opinion that these breed-neutral laws would encourage pet owner responsibility. With a large amount of tax dollars being used to enforce these ineffective and expensive laws, cities could be using this money on other preventative measures for aggressive dogs and attacks. According to the AMBA.org, money could be used to enforce registering and licensing these dogs instead of focusing on these breeds specifically. Money could be used to offer low-cost spay and neutering and this would help with overpopulation of these generally typed pit bull breeds from being given to groups or people who fight these breeds and contribute to them having aggressive behavior. Money could also be used to educate children on dog bite prevention. Lastly, we'll talk about the improved future without breed-specific laws. A country without breed-specific laws is a place where dogs do not suffer consequences and discrimination just because they have a certain look to them. Since owners will not have to be worried about it being illegal to have these dogs, these breeds will not be forced to live a life without proper exercise, socialization, and veterinary care. Without these restrictions, there is the potential for more of these breeds to be adopted from shelters instead of facing euthanasia. Finally, money that is being spent on these laws could be used for more beneficial methods of preventing dog attacks. To review, there are laws in place in many cities that place discriminatory restrictions on certain breeds. These laws need to be done away with and replaced with educational and preventative measures. I urge you to go to change.org and sign a petition to end these discriminatory laws. Just like here in America, we want to end racism. Let's aim to end discrimination on these dog breeds. In conclusion, let's make sure that all animals retrieved receive fair, humane, and unbiased treatment.